Today on Dub World, we're working on a 2001 Volkswagen Eurovan full camper, and I'm going to show you how to change out your spare tire, but more specifically, I'm going to show you how to keep this from happening. This is a wheel that's near failure due to rust. So why does this happen, and is it happening on yours? Stay tuned to find out. I am on the ground right now underneath my 2001 Volkswagen Eurovan camper, about to replace the spare tire. This tire here is really old and have no idea how old it is. Maybe the original one to the van. The wheel is actually rusted up in here. I'll show you when I pull it out. But in case you've never changed a tire on your Eurovan, had to put the spare on, just wanted to show you real quick what you need to do. This is a lug wrench from another VW. I just happened to have it handy, so I didn't have to pull out the one from the camper. But you've got two bolts here. This is 19 millimeter, and you can see this hole here. Well, it's a pretty cool setup. Basically, what you do is you just loosen this up. Once you get this loose, that stays in. This one here on this side actually comes out. So just get this bolt out. If you're in an area where you've got a lot of salt on the roads, you're going to want to put some type of anti-seize compound on these bolts so they don't get rusted in. I live in Florida, not really an issue. These are very long, as you'll see. There it is. It's quite the long bolt. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your factory lug wrench tool, simply going to put it in this hole here. Then you're going to lift up and you're going to move it over. So I need to loosen this a little bit more. There we go. And let me see if I can hold the camera and do this at the same time. And there you go. Really simple. Let me drag the tire out and then I'll show you the wheel. Now, since I'm under here, I'm going to get all this debris out, clean it out. Quite a bit of dirt and just rocks and everything else from driving. I was thinking Volkswagen may have been smarter if they would have put some drain holes in these grooves to help it. So here's that foam piece that rusted the wheel. This is the piece I pulled out of here. It is all wet. You can see this is where it was up against the wheel, and that was a piece of rust that just came off. You can see the shape of it. I'll show you on the rusty wheel. So I wanted to show you how this foam sits up here on the bracket. It's basically like this. It sits right up against the edge, and it's full of water. I mean, I can't squeeze it out, but it's pretty wet. Maybe I can squeeze it out, I'm not sure. But it's pretty wet, and this just laying up against here for years, driving through the rain, everything else, and if you're in an area where they put salt on the road, of course that's just going to stick in there, and you can see it's spread pretty far. I mean, it's even if this was sideways, it's still not quite big enough. I would say for sure if you're running 16-inch wheels, definitely get rid of that foam and keep your wheel from rusting. So here's what's going in. Nice wheel, brand new tire to match the other tires. So let's go ahead and slide that back in. Now it does mount with the face of the wheel facing downward. Okay, turned it out, give it a little extra length. So when I put this up, I can get this on here and get it slid over and latched into place. Now I got two hands again. Hopefully you were able to see that. You want to make sure that this wrench is not turned up like this. It needs to either be down or to the side so you don't hit the bumper. But once you get into place, then you just tighten the bolts and you're good to go. Just make sure your tire is mounted in the center as much as possible. And that's it. So you're gonna wanna make sure these are nice and snug, tight. You don't wanna back it off. Obviously, you don't wanna lose your spare tire. So don't put them on so tight that you can't get them off. But make sure they're nice and snug. And again, check the tire, make sure everything fits good in here. I'm gonna reach the phone up in here. See if you can see. So now that that foam is missing, there's nothing against the edge of the rim. So we shouldn't have any rust. Looks like it fits in here nice and tight, so I really don't know why that foam was there. One other thing that I forgot to point out, when you're putting your wheel up here, make sure you put the valve stem in an accessible spot like this. Don't put it under the bracket because you need to be able to come under here and check your tire pressure, make sure it's properly inflated. That's it. Hopefully this helped. Maybe give you some new tips or just gave you something entertaining to watch if you're a Eurovan owner. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Double O.